I have probably flown over 100 times, and these are the 5 tips that you can steal to use on your next flight that have made my life a lot better and simpler, and it's probably gonna make your life a lot better and, you know, your trips a lot more smoother. And number 4 was my most recent discovery, and it has been pretty, you know, it's been a good way to prep. So when I travel, there are 3 things I aim to accomplish. The first one is agility. I want to be able to be agile and move to places quickly and faster than the people around me. So, you know, if I need to go from terminal A to B, or if there's a connection that I might miss, like I want to be able to be on the go and on the flight fast. That way I save myself the stress of possibly having delays or any version of that. The second thing that I always focus on is saving time, and you gotta understand that in a second. And the third one is making the whole experience a lot smoother and nicer to deal with. Okay, so here's the first tip. If you can, do not check bags. That is going to save you so much time, both from the moment that you get to the airport and you got to go through those lines to check in your bags, and also when you're waiting for baggage claim, or when you have to pick up your baggage from, you know, one connection to the other. And so there's so many things that can go wrong. So every time that you can, bring a backpack, carry on, just try not to put anything in the check bag department. The second tip is this little guy right here. Not this brand specifically, anything like that. You know, at airports, at airplanes, when you can connect an audio jack to be able, you know, headphones and stuff. So the idea is that you connect this to the little screen on the plane, and now you can use your AirPods. This is a Bluetooth connector. It changes, you know, audio jack to Bluetooth. This guy has been so good because I can use noise canceling. My AirPods are small. So nice. It's so nice. I don't have to worry about music. It's so nice. Third one is credit card miles. And this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form, okay? But what I can tell you is that almost all of the flights that I'm taking for the next 30 days were booked with miles. And a huge part of them were booked using sign-up miles. So when you sign up for a card, you find promotions here or there, 80,000 miles, 100,000 miles, 120,000 miles. If you can start playing around with, like, you know, transfer from one port into the other at like 1.5 the rate, 1.2 the rate. So at that point, you might be getting more miles per credit card mile. So, you know, it's a fun game. It's interesting. Only use this if you already know how to use credit cards, if you know how to use them properly. You're not gonna get into debt, but, you know, it's a pretty useful tool if you know how to use credit cards properly. Number 4, this is the one that I have learned recently, or kind of always knew, but now I'm able to identify the pattern, and I think that this is pretty safe to say at this point. You know, when you're in the line to board to the plane, and at some point you have your backpacks with you, and then someone in the announcer goes, hey, you know, we're running out of space in the cabin. We might have to check your bag if you're coming later on, and so on. It's so frustrating to me because I'm always packing light so that I don't check bags. For the most part, I don't have any checked bags, so I just want to go, go, go. But what I have found that is pretty true is if you're in main cabin 1 and above, meaning before that, so priority, blah, 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 first class, comfort, whatever, up to main cabin 1, you're safe. Like, you're good to go. They're not really going to check your bags. If you're in cabin 2 or 3, and I think for other airlines would be something like groups or 3, 4, 5 or some version of that, you're at a high risk. Keep that in mind, and if there's ever a chance for you to do like a slight upgrade to the main cabin, and that is usually what that's actually gonna get you. And that's when the backpack that I use in the duffel pays back very nicely, because they don't realize that when I have it strapped on, it doesn't look like it's decently large in the back. It doesn't look like a duffel bag. It just looks like a backpack. So absolute worst case scenario, I can just like, hey, this is a carry-on. I can squeeze it. I can tighten it up. But most cases, they don't see, they don't realize. And number 5, also in the time management, you know, time saving zone, is getting TSA pre-check. Not tell you the amount of times that either I thought I could possibly miss my flight, or, you know, just going through the line and being done with the security in like 10 minutes when I see the regular line being like an hour. The stress I save myself every time is ridiculous. And this goes back to the credit cards too. Most credit cards that have the mileage situation might also have some sign-up bonus or bonuses to pay, like TSA pre-check, global entry, and all that jazz. So look at that and see if it makes sense. It saves time in the sense that you can get to the airport later. Sometimes you can sleep a little bit more. If it's an early flight, you're at a dinner and then you gotta catch a flight, you can stay a little bit. Like, you just don't freak out as much to go into the airport and having to do all these things. That's the idea. It's pretty useful. It's pretty nice. So these are the 5 tips of things that I learned throughout the way that have saved me time, have saved me stress, and have just generally made the trips a lot more smooth on my end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I know that Luis from a few years ago would have certainly appreciated some of these tips, and it would have saved me so much stress. If you like to travel, if you like minimalism, or if you like time management, or if you like learning, or like, not wasting time learning, I'm your guy. Stay around. I have a video production company, and I actually fly to my clients, which is why I get to talk about this stuff too, which is pretty neat. So, thank you for hanging around. I hope you have a fantastic freaking day, and you press some buttons here so I show up in your feed again and to other people that might benefit from it. Take care.